Hi there, my name is John Dunaway. I am the instructor for Math 111, Fundamentals of Mathematics at Johnson County Community College. This video is kind of just a generic cover-all of many of the topics and things that you need to be aware of the class to help you be successful. A lot of them I won't cover in class, so this video is just to make sure that you're aware of things like how your grade works, how the points come from, some issues with tests if you're going to miss a test, whatnot. The purpose of the video is to allow us to have more time together to talk about math in the first two class periods, which I've found is difficult to get to because there's so many things to cover to make sure you understand expectations of the class and what's going to happen if you know you're going to miss a test and how makeup tests work if you miss a test and all that. So that's all covered in this class. So please take time and watch through this one. There might be two videos to get through all the material, but you're going to be expected to be aware of this as we go through the class this term. You'll also notice that there are some things that are blocked out on my video that will be printed on your syllabus, and that's just so that this video is just the basic concepts that's true for each term as we go. So on the first page here you will see just the title of the course that hopefully you're enrolled in if you're watching this video, the Fundamentals of Math, in the Math Division there at Johnson County Community College. And you probably got some information right here printed on yours that has the term, the room number, and the number of the classes. Probably says Math 111 with 3 numbers after that. That's nothing for you really to worry about. Really, here is an important piece of information for you. If you need to contact me, this is my personal cell phone. I only teach one class a term, so you can text me. That's probably the fastest way to get a response from me. Or you can call me and leave a message if I don't answer. Email is right here. You'll want to have that bookmarked in your email, and that's another fast way to communicate with me. If you know that you're going to miss a class and you want me to be aware of an issue or something, you can email me. Particularly if you're going to miss on a test date, you'll need to email that address right there. This is my personal website. This is going to be important for us because I leave all of the videos of the lesson instruction that we do. I post at that website, and we will go through that in the first class period and how that's going to work for you. But you'll want to have that bookmarked on your computer at home, particularly the computer that you'll be doing a lot of the work on. All right, here's some course information you need to be aware of. It is a 3-credit-hour class. The prerequisite has to do with this test score that you hopefully achieved on the entrance assessment test for the college. And the textbook that you need is right here. It's called Basic College Mathematics, the 12th edition. And you can get that in the school library. I believe you can also access it online if you need to, or if you want to. I don't know if you're going to find it any cheaper at one place or the other. One important thing to know is this thing called My Math Lab Access Code. That is required for class. And honestly, that's more important for you than actually the book. The publishers are making books nowadays where everything is accessible electronically, and that is the case here. And all of the homework and quizzes that we do will actually be done through this computer program that you're going to need the access code for. It's all web-based, it's online, so you should be able to access it from any computer that you can use, home, work, or whatever, as long as it has flash capabilities. I'm not sure how it's working on the iPads, but you do not have to have a hardback copy of the book, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to get the access code without the hardback copy. So the access code is most important for us. The book is actually contained within that access code electronically if you don't have a hardback book. So if you find that it's cheaper to get the access code and you can get that without the book, great. You can do that if you're comfortable with it. But again, we won't be using the hardback book in class for assignments. We'll be using that electronic versions instead. And it works out great for you. You get great feedback from past students on that particular program. You do need to have a scientific calculator for the class. And it will make your life a lot easier, and I'm going to show you the best one to get here in just a moment. You also will need to have access to internet on a regular basis. All the work that we do, except for the handwritten tests that you do with me in class, all of the homework and the quizzes and preparations for the tests will require internet on a regular basis. So please make sure that you have that worked out and access to it, like I said, regularly. And if one computer is not working, that you have a plan B if you feel like you need to go get some work done, because the class moves very quickly. There's a lot of material that happens in a short amount of time. Let's talk about that calculator I mentioned just a second ago. I have a picture of it here. I'm going to see if I can get it to come up on the screen. There it is. I don't get any money from Texas Instruments for this. All I'm telling you is I've taught this class a long time, and I found that this calculator is the easiest calculator that students use, particularly with fractions, which seems to be a big stumbling block for a lot of students at this level. It's Texas Instruments. It's the TI-30X2S. TI-30XIIS. That calculator, it's got this great button. Can't really see it because my pen is blue there, but I just drew an arrow to it. It's got that button right there, this A, B over C button right here that we can use for fractions that will basically do almost everything for us as we get further along in the classroom. There is a test at the beginning of the year you have to do without the calculator. There's 2 of them. But this calculator, I would suggest you get as soon as possible. You should be able to find it at Walmart, Target, or places like that for less than $12. So that's my recommendation. I will even be sending you later a video how to use that calculator to do all those computations after we get past the second test. This is just stuff that we have to put in the syllabus. You do have to score a C in this class to be allowed to move on. So you can get a D, which is not a failing grade, but you're not allowed to go on to the next class unless you score a C or better in this course or prerequisite tests. Here's the description that you should be aware of, just the things we'll be covering, and we'll get into that detail at a later date. Okay, so moving on in the syllabus, the next page here, this is the code of conduct. This is just a community college thing that we have to put in there. If you want to read it, there's a link to it. You can search on their website. Here's some important information for you as we talk about how you get your grade. There are 6 tests in the course. 5 of those tests are handwritten. 1 of those tests is done online at the very end of the course. There are so there's 6 tests at 100 points each. That's 600 points. And then we have quizzes that you take online, chapter quizzes that are done on the computer in that My Math Lab program we talked about. There's also homework that's done on the computer, and the quizzes and the homework are there to prepare you for the tests. All right, the tests are the biggest % of your grade. And then the last thing is there is a final exam that's required by all students. It doesn't matter your score. You can't test out of it. Everyone is required by the math department to take the comprehensive final exam. So all of those points basically work out to be 1,000 points total. The 6 tests, 600. Your quiz average works out to be 100 points. Your homework average works out to be 100 points. And your final exam works out to be 200 points for a total of 1,000 points to determine your final grade. All right, as we talk about the exams, there's some really important information here that you need to be aware of. I have tentative dates attached on the last page of the syllabus, and it's really important that you are aware of those dates and you have them in your calendar and you do not miss class on those dates. Here's what happens. Right, one thing I will do is I will replace, starting on this sentence right here, the score of your final exam will replace the score of any previous test score if higher. If a unit test is missed, then the test score will be replaced by the % of the final exam. However, this is important right here, only 1 missed test will be replaced. Okay, more than 1 missed test will result in a 0 score. If you know you will miss a test, you may make arrangements. I'm reading this line right here. You may make arrangements to take the test early. However, no student may be exempt from the final exam. And this is an important sentence right here. It's even bolded and italicized for you, stressing its importance. No test will be given after the class test has been administered. There are no makeup tests. And this is actually fairly common in college math classes, that once I give a test in class, I won't give it to a student that misses that test. However, I will allow a student to take it early. So if something happens where you're in a car wreck on the way to class, that test, and you miss that test, what I will do is I will take your final exam score and replace the missed test. But since we only take 5 written tests in class, it's a pretty fair expectation that you make at least 4 of those 5 tests. If you know you're going to miss it, please, like I said, make arrangements to take that test early. Okay, now the good news is that I will replace any test score that is lower than your final exam. So if you have 2 really bad nights and bomb a test here and another test later, and then you do well on the final exam, that final exam can replace both of those tests. So I will replace multiple tests by your final exam score. That's very good news for you as long as you're keeping up and working hard through the course of the class. Okay, now this video is, I've passed the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to stop this video as part 1, and I will pick up at this point for part 2 here in just a moment because I have time limits on the length of the videos I can do. So we'll be right back for part 2 of the video, and we will pick up with homework and computer quizzes when I come right back.